Hello class, this is Scott Caruso with my final ASD discussion video, week 4, ASD 1208. I feel like I'm becoming a broken record here, but yet again this week went better than expected, and really the entire week from top to bottom went the way, at least in terms of the execution of my project. As soon as I found out what we were going to be doing, I was able to visualize in my head the flowchart and really got the core coding for the project, the add, remove, update, and display functionality working in probably about 4 or 5 hours, just because it made so much sense to me. And this afforded me the time to fix a few legacy bugs as well as get a couple features working that had never been working. I actually had some time to do that. And I really feel like my mastery of JavaScript is coming along nicely at this point. Although, in hindsight, saying mastery there may be a little bit of a stretch. The thing that went a lot worse than expected was the installation of the tools, especially the Android plugin for Eclipse. That was a nightmare. I started doing it probably around 12 a.m., 12:30 a.m. Wednesday night, so first thing Thursday morning, like early Thursday morning. And I did not finish until almost 4 a.m. It took forever. I almost didn't get to work at all. For about an hour and a half, the plugin simply refused to install. It just kept hanging. I finally, using the magic of Google and a little bit of brute force, finally got it to work. And you'll see in a little bit the app running in Android. But right off the bat, I was already soured on working with the tools even before I started. So I'll touch on that in a little bit more detail shortly. At this point, it's hard to pick out a single thing or things that I've pulled from previous courses to help me this week. I mean, we're really at a point now where all the courses we've taken tie together to make these applications run, right? I'm using jQuery and JQM, design principles, debugging, DOM manipulation. There's not a course that I've taken, at least core MDV program courses, that isn't represented in the work that I've been doing. And speaking of that work, how about we go take a look at the applications running, and then I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about the simulators. Alright, so let's take a look at the application itself. As you see here, I've got the iOS simulator on the left and the Android simulator on the right. I'll do the bulk of the work in the iOS simulator just because of the performance there, but we'll also take a look at the app running in Android. So real quick, just a housekeeping item here. I've disabled the recently added button and the clear binder buttons. Those are features that when I made the move to couch-based data would have required additional work that was not within scope for this week. So imagine if I were scheduling this week out as a sprint, this would have been work that would have been punted to the next sprint or not prioritized as highly in my backlog. I hope to get to it next month while I'm taking sociology, getting those two links back in so that they work with the new data, but since they weren't required this week, I didn't use them. So real quick, the CTA here, view your active library. Click on that. It actually pulls in data from a couch of cards that are labeled as true, as in currently active. You click on one to expand it out, and it gives you more details about it. You can take a look at a lot of them. Let's say this planes card here, I would like to edit it. So I click on Edit Card here, and it brings me to a form with all of the previous data already filled in. That 0 for mana cost is correct. That's what this one should be. And here's all the details about it. So let's say I want to actually name it Planes New. And we'll say it's now got a 3 for mana cost, and for some reason it's also got black in it. So we click the Edit Card button, give it a second. Planes New has been successfully updated, and it kicks us back to the main. If we go browse by all cards or active library, all cards or active library, we can go through and you see no more planes. Planes New is there. Take a look at it. Mana cost is now 3. Colors are now white and black. But you know what? I've decided I don't like this card anymore, so I'm just going to get rid of it. The confirmation if we're sure I want to delete. OK. Successfully removed from Cloud. Refreshes the page right there after that. Planes New is gone. And then that's how that works. Click Home, get back to Home. You can also browse by colors and category. All of these options here pull from various couch list views. So these are all cards, for instance, here that are sorceries, Scour and Burn the Earth, as an example. So all the colors and categories pull in the correct data as well. And of course, the add data form. This is a bug that I need to fix with it, where even after you after you edit a card, the add card form does not reset itself. It's just a bug that I need to fix that I will also get to fixing relatively soon. So let's refresh real quick so we can add a new card. This is a new card. Done. And again, obviously, all of this is being done in Couch. None of this is local anymore. What I have Couch doing is pulling in the IDs and revs, saving them to local storage, and then passing those values around through local storage to pull up the correct data and edit and list views, etc. So we submit. This is a new card that's been successfully saved. Return to the main menu. Take a look at all cards real quick, and boom, this is a new card. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the application in Android as well. I'm going to speed this up in the video so that we're not waiting for it to load things, so I will not be talking over it, but I'll go real quickly through the features that we just saw. So hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at the apps. But with the two simulators, I love working with the iOS simulator. I use it all the time, actually, when checking and debugging my work. Obviously, I use the browsers, Firefox and Chrome primarily, more often because of the console they provide and whatnot. But why wouldn't I also include the iOS simulator in there? It's vital to make sure the code I'm writing is stable and doing what I expect it to do on the kind of device it's going to be used on. It's relatively responsive on the desktop, and it's a great substitute for actually having an iOS device. So I actually use it regularly, every day that I'm coding, really. Android, on the other hand, slow, obviously. The interface is not very inviting. I haven't played around with too many of the different types of simulators for each of the different Android releases. But the one that you saw there, obviously the 4.0, I believe it was, it's just got a clunky looking interface. Moreover, it's very difficult and cumbersome to both install and launch. Clearly there's some important uses there, but I can already tell that actually using it's going to be more of a chore than I would care for. And like I mentioned earlier, I've already soured on the experience just from how long it took me to get it installed. Granted, yes, it was at midnight, from midnight to 4 a.m., so that didn't help matters, but still, it was not fun. So that, in a nutshell, was week 4, and I guess that's also the end of my time here in ASD 1208. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Hope you enjoy the app, and I will see you again in the future.